Hello, welcome to this channel. We're here to help you improve your skills. I encourage you to support us by subscribing and sharing our videos. Let me show you how you can subscribe if you haven't done it yet. You will be listening to different conversations. Each conversation is different from the others. Lesson 1. Anna introduces herself.
My name is Anna Marinin. I'm 27 years old. I was born in San Francisco, California, and moved to Auburn, about 2 hours away by car, still in California, when I was 4 years old. My parents are divorced. My mom was a lawyer, and now she is a yoga teacher. My dad is a comic book artist. My brother, who is 25 years old, is still in college. For hobbies, I enjoy going on walks, doing yoga, studying Japanese, reading, and vintage shopping. I like genres of music, like techno music or jazz mostly. My favorite genres in books and TV are science fiction and fantasy. For example, my favorite books are Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and I also really like Jane Austen. I've been a vegetarian since I was 14, I think. That means that I have never eaten meat or fish for more than 10 years. I have traveled all throughout Europe, all the way to Austria, all the way to Iceland, and as well, I have visited many cities in China, Japan, and also Hong Kong. I have worked as an English assistant before in the Vosges in Lorraine, and after that finished, I got a master's degree after 2 years in French to English translation. I had made a few Chinese friends during college, and I enjoyed visiting them in China. So besides Japanese, I am also trying to teach myself Chinese. I really enjoy studying languages, starting with French, which was my major in college.
Hi, my name is Darlene Cervantes. I am 23 years old. I am Mexican, but I was born and raised in Southern California. I live in Brea, California with my family. I have one younger brother, one younger sister, and one older sister. I studied French and child and adolescent development at California State University, Fullerton. I want to become a high school teacher someday. I'd like to teach Spanish, French, and English. I am currently an English language assistant at a high school in France.
My name is Leslie, and I'm from Conway, Arkansas, in the United States. My daily routine. I get up at 9 o'clock. I eat breakfast at 9:30. I go to work at 10 o'clock. I eat lunch at 1 o'clock. I go home at 5 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, I have a snack with my friends. At 8 o'clock, I have dinner. At 9 o'clock, I watch TV or I read. At 11 o'clock, I go to bed.
My name is Renata. I am from the United States. I live in Chicago. My daily routine changes. Normally, I wake up around 6:30 a.m. I get dressed after I take my shower and I get ready to hit the road. I take the metro to get to work. It usually takes about 30 to 45 minutes to get to work on the train. I then get off the train and take a bus. Once I get off the bus, I arrive at school and I go work with my students. When I'm done at school, I then go to the daycare to pick up the 2 girls that I babysit. I stay with them for 2 hours every day, and then I go home and usually call my family. I eat dinner as well. What do you do when you come home? I like to watch TV as well.
Hello, my name is Robert. I live in New York. In New York, I get up at 6:30 a.m. I take a shower and brush my teeth. Then I get dressed and put on my shoes. The last thing I do before I leave is eat breakfast and drink a cup of coffee. Then I walk to the subway. I take the subway 4 stops to school. School starts at 8 a.m. We have lunch at noon for a half an hour.
So, daily routine in my life is I either go to bed at 3, wake up at 9, get up, get dressed, eat, head back down to the basement, maybe play the guitar, mess around on my keyboard, mess around on my computer, talk with some friends, and then I eat lunch, and then I go to bed. Well, actually, no, I eat dinner, then go to bed, and then probably go back on my computer at like 2 a.m. in the morning, and then back to bed, and then my day starts all over again.
Hi, my name is Orly Wren. My name is spelled Orlyrene. I'm about medium height, and I have long, thick, wavy, dark brown hair and brown eyes. My mom is also about medium height. She has hazel eyes, and she has short, thick, wavy brown hair. She also wears glasses. My dad is about medium height. He has short, thin, straight black hair. He has brown eyes, and he also wears glasses. He also has a big nose. I have no brothers and no sisters, so I'm an only child. But we have a dog. Her name is Jenny. She's very little and very cute.
Let's describe my family. My name is Genevieve. I am 8 and I have long brown hair and big brown eyes. I have a big sister. Her name is Jane and she is tall. She has brown hair and brown eyes. My mom has short blonde hair and dark brown eyes. My dad wears glasses and he has curly white hair. I also have a gray and white cat with green eyes. Her name is Josephine and she is very funny.
My family. My name is Robin. I am 9 years old. I have red hair and green eyes. I have an older sister. Her name is Wendy. She is 14 years old. She's got brown hair and brown eyes. My mother is short. She has brown hair and gray eyes. She has freckles on her face. My father has short brown hair and brown eyes. He is tall. We have 3 dogs. Napoleon is small and white, with small pointy ears. Scout is brown, red, and white, with short legs and long ears. Bendy is black, white, and brown. She also has short legs. We love our dogs.
So I'm going to talk to you about my family. I have one brother. He is called Jonathan. and he is 29. He is very nice. We get on really well. He's very thoughtful and loyal. Then there's my mom. She is 63, I think. I'm not quite sure about that. She's called Sandra. She's very sweet. She gets in contact with me very often as she misses me. Bless her. And she's from up north, so near Leeds, and my dad is also up north. He was born in Leeds, and he's called Stephen, and he's 64, and he's very impatient, so always complaining when there's a traffic jam. And I envy my dad because he's had such an interesting life. He's travelled like all over the world and has amazing stories to tell. Not quite sure if they're all true though.
There are 4 people in my immediate family: myself, my brother, my mom, and my dad. My brother's name is Mark. He's a year and a half older than me. He has a job working in the Seattle area at a camera store. He's the manager of the store, so that means he has more responsibilities in the store. He creates the employees' schedules, goes to corporate meetings, and is responsible for keeping track of the sales. When I was younger, my brother and I didn't get along at all. We used to fight and argue a lot. Now that we're both older, though, we're actually friends and spend time together. My mom's name is Carol. She's a teacher at a middle school. She teaches language arts and social studies, which are kind of like English class and civilization class. My mom and I are really close and like spending time together. My dad's name is Jack. He works in a hospital as a respiratory therapist. His job is to help patients with lung problems and make sure that the machines that help them breathe work properly. My dad likes to travel and has lots of hobbies, including skiing, fishing, and sailing. When I was growing up, we used to have a family dog, but she died a few years ago. Now we just have an aquarium with some fish, but other than that, we don't currently have any pets.
I live in a big yellow house. My father built my house when I was 5 years old. The house is 2 stories, and we have 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and my favorite room is the living room because there is a huge bookcase and I love to read. One of my favorite books is Harry Potter. Harry Potter is a wizard who discovers he's a wizard when he is 12 years old, and he gets to go to a really cool wizarding school and learns how to cast spells and use magic, and he makes a bunch of friends. But he has to be careful because Voldemort is evil, and I think it's really cool how they play Quidditch, and it sounds really fun. And then his best friend is Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger. Hermione is really smart, and Ron is really funny. And it's my favorite book because I love the characters.
Cooking. Cooking is not my favorite thing to do, but I do know how to. So, my specialty is spaghetti. It's very easy to make. All you have to do is boil some water, put in some spaghetti noodles and some olive oil, and then in another pot, heat up some tomato sauce. It's ready very quickly, so It's a very good meal when you don't have a lot of time.
Hi, my name is Keely, and my favorite food is fried chicken. It's a very popular thing to eat in the United States. So is pizza and Mexican food. My favorite dessert is ice cream, and my favorite flavor is chocolate.
Now I'm going to tell you about food. My favorite meal is lunch. For lunch, I usually eat a sandwich, sometimes with ham and cheese or turkey and cheese, and I have chips and water and then some kind of dessert afterwards. My favorite food is fried chicken. You take chicken and you dip it in a batter, and then you put it in a frying pan with olive oil and butter, and then you fry it until it's nice and crispy. A typical meal in Maryland usually involves crabs. Maryland is very famous for their crabs. Sometimes we steam the crabs and then we break them open with a mallet and eat the meat that way. Or we take the crab meat and bake it into a cake and then fry it or broil it. Crab tastes very good, and we always season it with Old Bay. Now I'm going to tell you about my mom's personality. She's very nice and very sweet, and she always knows what to do when I'm upset. She's funny sometimes, and she's a teacher. She likes to teach me about life. Sometimes, though, she likes to tell me what to do. And that gets annoying sometimes. But other than that, she is the best mom.
My name is Jocelyn, and I live in Oakland, California. During Christmas, my family and me get together at my mom's house, and we decorate the Christmas tree. We buy a lot of presents for each other and put them underneath the Christmas tree. Then on Christmas Eve, we each open one present, and then we go to church for the Christmas Eve service.
Hi, my name's Leslie. During my free time, I like to read. I also like to ride my bike. I like riding my bike in the park. I also like to play soccer during my free time. It's very fun and I can play with my friends.
Today the weather is really pretty outside. Lately it's been cold in the morning and warmer in the afternoon. And then it's springtime here, so the flowers are about to bloom. And it is March the 27th, so that means spring has begun, and the next season will be summer. But spring is one of my favorite seasons because all the flowers bloom. The flowers start to come out, the trees get leaves again, and it's just a beautiful time of the year here in the U.S. Hello, my name is Sarah. I live in the U.S. and I have one brother. He is a community activist, and then I have a sister-in-law and my parents and my husband. I'm expecting a baby.
My house is a country house. It used to be a farm, so it is in the middle of nowhere. and surrounded by fields. But it is lovely. It's very homely. I have a lounge where we all stay together and watch TV and have guests over, and then I have a kitchen where we all cook and probably complain that someone has made too much mess, or especially my mum, she always tells my dad off. And then we have a dining room which never gets used, there's no point in it. And we also have another lounge that we tend to go more in the summer. I don't know why. I guess because it doesn't have a fireplace. And then upstairs there are 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and a toilet. And one is a bit of a study where, again, everyone complains and argues who gets to use a computer. But yeah, it's very homely, and I'll miss it when my parents move away.
I have an iPhone 4S, and I love my iPhone because you can do anything on it. I live in France right now, and I can keep in contact with my parents by using WhatsApp. So I can text my mom every day and my sisters. I also like it because I can use the internet on my cell phone. So if I need to send an email, I can send emails. If I want to check Facebook, I can check Facebook. Also, with the iPhone, you can take videos or take pictures of things that you see. And I also like it because you have a GPS, so I tend to get lost easily. So with my GPS, I always know where I am. There are also a bunch of games you can play, so if you're bored in school, well, maybe not in school, but if you're bored, you can play games. And it's really useful for almost anything you could think of. And in this day and age, technology is so important because we don't really know how to live without it, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I love my phone.
So I went to the University of Oklahoma. I was born and raised in Oklahoma, so it was always kind of assumed that I would go to one of the 2 state schools in Oklahoma. So we have Oklahoma State University, which is called OSU for short, and we have the University of Oklahoma, which is called OU for short. Now, my mother went to OU and my father went to OSU, so there's a big controversy where I would go. However, I also had my grandfather went to OU, and I would be a 3rd generation Sooner if I went to OU. So, and I also received, as I've talked about in other videos, a lot of scholarship at OU. So I decided to go to OU, and it was one of the best experiences of my life going to OU. It's where I found my friends, it's where I found my community, it's where I got my degree.
Hello, it's Paul again. I just got off work. I'm looking forward to going home and having a nice cold drink and maybe watching some World Cup soccer. Although I do enjoy watching what Americans call football is a different sport, played with a different number of people, but the only thing to watch right now is the World Cup soccer. So I think I'll do that and just, like I said, have a nice drink and relax and maybe watch some other TV. Other than that, I will talk to you later. Bye.
One of my favorite TV shows is the show Lost. It is about people on a plane who crash into an island, and they have to figure out how to survive on the island without help from the outside, and they have to hope that someone will come find them. Meanwhile, they have to find food, find shelter, and they have to help those who are wounded or sick. And there's also a monster on the island, and they don't know what it is, so they have a lot of mysteries to solve.
Now I'm going to tell you about food. My favorite meal is lunch. For lunch, I usually eat a sandwich, sometimes with ham and cheese or turkey and cheese, and I have chips and water and then some kind of dessert afterwards. My favorite food is fried chicken. You take chicken and you dip it in a batter, and then you put it in a frying pan with olive oil and butter, and then you fry it until it's nice and crispy. A typical meal in Maryland usually involves crabs. Maryland is very famous for their crabs. Sometimes we steam the crabs and then we break them open with a mallet and eat the meat that way. Or we take the crab meat and bake it into a cake and then fry it or broil it. Crab tastes very good, and we always season it with Old Bay.
Hi, my name's Leslie. I usually eat breakfast at 8 o'clock. For breakfast, I like to have cereal with milk and orange juice. I like to eat lunch around 12 o'clock or noon. For lunch, I like to eat a sandwich, sometimes with ham and cheese. I also like to have potato chips with my lunch, and I usually drink water. I also enjoy eating fruit like apples or bananas. For supper, I like to eat spaghetti or lasagna or sometimes a big salad. It's very good. After dinner, I like to have ice cream. My favorite type of ice cream is chocolate.